Hey, it's Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty dropping in to give you your monthly market update for the city of Paradise Valley here in Arizona. It's currently September 8th, 2022. Hit the subscribe button, grab a drink, sit down. We're going to break it down for you, let you know what's really happening in today's market. All right, so let's get right into it. Our active listings are actually down over this time last year, which I know it's all over the news that our inventory is increasing, but real estate is local and you need to pay attention to what's happening in your specific city and your specific neighborhood and zip code. So keep that in mind. So for Paradise Valley, active listings are actually down 4.6% over this time last year. Our sold listings, though, are down 39.5%. Part of that might have to do with some people pumping the brakes with interest rates and the news hyping up that things are bad. And to be honest, a lot of people, have just been priced out of the luxury market, which Paradise Valley is. So keep that in mind. Our median sale price per square foot, though, is still way up, 16% over this time last year. This is going more back to a seller's market like we saw in I'd say 2019, early 2020, before things got real crazy. I would say it's that seller's market. It's not the absurd seller's market from the end of 2020 and 2021. It's not that kind of crazy, but that's still really good year over year appreciation for homes in Paradise Valley, especially considering normal appreciation in an average year without craziness happening would only be 2 to 4%. So at 16%, you are doing really, really good on your investment. So don't worry about that. Median price per square foot is sitting at just over $612 a square foot, which is really high and about a $200 swing in 2 years. So keep that in mind. That is a lot of value that you have built in your home. Our months of supply is up 57.7% over this time last year. And our months of supply is actually sitting at 5.43 months of supply. A lot of people have been saying, oh, it's a buyer's market, whatever. Time out. 6 months even Steven of supply is an even stable market. To get to a buyer's market, you need to be 8 months or more. Anything over 4 and less than 8 is an even stable market. And of course, it kind of swings, it ebbs and flows, right? The closer you get to 8 months of supply, the closer you're getting to that buyer's market. So keep that in mind. We're not even yet to an even Steven straight up and down market yet. So keep that in mind. Try to remember real estate is super, super local. Okay. Our median days on market is up 55.3% over this time last year. Homes are selling. Our median days on market is about 73 days. Again, it sounds like a lot of days, but to be honest, in an even stable market, it would be 90 days. We're sitting at 73. And we're coming out of our summer slump. So keep that in mind as we go through the next couple months. What you want to look out for is, yes, we know the Fed's going to increase rates again. They've been saying all year that they're going to do it well into 2023. Keep in mind, but we also know that in every recession, rates come down. And they haven't said anything about rates coming down yet. So it just kind of gotta just hide and watch kind of thing. But the selling season in Paradise Valley really doesn't kick off until our winter visitors get back and temperatures drop below 100. So keep that in mind. Let's jump over to our months of supply by price point. This is important because not all price points are created equal. Somebody under $500,000 is going to have a much different experience than somebody purchasing over $3 million. So keep that in mind. So let's break it down by the numbers. We are going to skip everything between $0 and $500,000. There is no data. In fact, there isn't even any inventory until we get to the $300,000 to $500,000 price point. And to be honest, there's not even data that we can calculate there because there's only 3 properties and none of them sold last month. So we don't have a way to calculate it. So it's kind of an unknown. And for all we know, they could be really ugly or very specific types of properties that just kind of require a more specialized buyer. So keep that in mind. So there's no way to calculate that. Then we look at the $500,000 to $700,000 price range. There were only 2 available. One of them sold. We're left with an even 2 months of inventory. That is a super strong seller's market. Expect multiple offers, but not giving up appraisals and contingencies and stuff like that. And you'll probably sell right around 99% of list price if you're listed properly. Then we look at the 700,000 to $1 million price range. There were only 3 properties in that price range even to start with in Paradise Valley, and they all sold. That left us with a white hot, even 0 months of supply. It statistically cannot get any hotter simply because you can't calculate for negative inventory. I wish we could, but there's just no way to really know how many actual buyers are out pounding the pavement and would be ready to purchase a home right now if it came on the market. So we're at like white hot, can't get any crazier price point seller's market for 700 to $1 million. Then we look at the $1 to $3 million range. This is becoming the entry level for most of Paradise Valley. You're at 4.38 months of supply. That is just like a half step outside of seller's market territory. Remember, anything 4 months or less is a seller's market. This is 4.38. It's not quite an even stable market. This is, you're not going to waive contingencies. You're not going to waive appraisals or inspections. You're not going to have to pay exorbitant fees over and above list price. And you probably won't see a whole lot of competition if you're buying, but also if you're selling, be reasonable. The 15 or 35 offers that your neighbor got 6 months ago or even last year, it's not going to happen. You probably won't get less money than your neighbor got, but you also aren't going to get a whole lot more. The aspirational pricing that a lot of people have become accustomed to, and frankly, a lot of agents have become accustomed to, is not happening any longer. You need to price in line with the comps, if not slightly below them, in order to make sure that your home is priced appropriately and that it will sell in the correct amount of time. Then we get to the over $3 million price range, and we're currently sitting at 7.73 months of supply. Almost a buyer's market, but not quite. We're like a quarter step outside of buyer's market territory, but that sounds really drastic, but for that price point last year, we were over 6.5 months of supply. So we gained about a month's worth of inventory in that price range, which actually isn't a huge drastic, difference. But also keep in mind, the luxury market is even more seasonal than the rest of the market. And so you see more wild, more volatile swings from seller's market to buyer's market to even to, and back and forth. You see big ebbs and flows month to month in those price ranges. So keep that in mind. As we come out of our summer slump, the thing to look for is, yes, we know the Fed's going to increase rates. The question is that going to tamper down buying traffic as much as it has over the summer with all the scare tactics? Or are people going to, kind of breathe a sigh of relief and go, well, I got to move anyway. And people will just go back to like a more normalized mentality. And that was, when you need to sell, you sell. And when you need to buy, you buy. Where the last couple of years, it's been, can you afford to buy? Interest rates are almost zero. Why not? And so it's going to weed out a lot of those people who just want to buy as opposed to those who need to buy. And to be honest, going into this next market, people should be looking at like the years 2015 to early 2019. Those are the years that are going to show you more stabilized normal patterns for our markets. And so when you're comparing to what's happening now, look a few years back. Don't look at 2020, 2021, and the first half of 2022. Those are not normal. They're an anomaly, much like the housing crisis in 2008, 9, 10. That was an anomaly. It's not likely to ever happen again in our lifetime. And there's tons of data out there. Poke around on my channel, you'll find why. With that said, if you are thinking of buying, real estate is local. Some areas and some price points around the valley are performing differently than others. If you want to see what you'd be up against in the price point you're looking at, or if you're wondering what your home might sell for in today's market, or if you simply just want an equity review to keep tabs on your investment, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 or visit my website at dustymartinrealtor.com.